Hey, today we're going to compare two $200 GPS drones, the Bugs 2W and the Hubsan H501S. Let's get them in the air. Now, both the Bugs and the Hubsan are about the same size, the Hubsan being about 21 grams heavier. The big difference here between the two is the bigger battery with the Hubsan. If there was the third drone to compare them, it would be the JJ Pro Hax. It's a little bit smaller, but does have a nice 1080p camera as well. Let's talk first about the Bugs 2W. The big difference here is it is Wi-Fi FPV over 5G signal. Now, you can also get it as the Force 200. Either way, it doesn't really matter. It's a quality drone. The Hubsan here does not operate over a 5G Wi-Fi signal in terms of FPV. You get that via the analog 5.8 gigahertz signal. Let's talk about the camera. The Hubsan's is a little bit better. We'll get more into detail in a moment. First, we need to race them. We got the Bugs closest to us, and yeah, that's the Hubsan still in the distance. Here comes the Bugs, and yes, the Hubsan's still flying. It's coming at us. Here it comes, and finally. So what does that look like? Here we got the onboard camera from the Hubsan. Well, because it's slow and steady, there goes the Bugs to the finish line. Now, this is in GPS mode. If we were to switch this over to ADI mode, turn the GPS off, it's going to be a fair fight. So let's do that. Here we go again. You can see it's pretty darn close. In fact, it looks like the Hubsan actually edges it that time. I think it had a head start. Now, what we have here is our contraption that measures thrust, which we do with all our drones. And you can see here that the Hubsan just a little bit underpowered in terms of compared to the Bugs. Now, let's get both of these quads up in the air and take a look at what their cameras can really do. Let's talk about the cameras a little bit. Taking pictures of our test target with both drones. You'll see the field of view is a little narrower on the Hubsan, but the illumination's a little bit better, as is the focus. Now, the color on the Hubsan's a little saturated, but that's probably on purpose, makes for good video. All right, let's start with the Bugs 2W. Get this thing in the air. Now, you'll see that the camera moves quite a bit. That's because there is no image stabilization. So as the drone moves, the camera moves. You're going to have to fly nice and slow for that. Now, I can follow this on my cell phone. It does send the signal via the 5G Wi-Fi, so I can watch it as we go, but I'm recording on the drone. You'll get much better quality that way. Now, you'll notice we do see the props in the corners. Depending on how we're flying, you'll see more or less of those props. Now let's get the Hubsan up in the air. Now, unfortunately, the video we didn't record, so we got some in the backyard here. But you can see the focus is a little bit better, the illumination a little bit better. Distortion's about the same. It does have a higher saturation. Now, I can watch this on the screen via a 5.8 gigahertz signal. Now, that's different than the Wi-Fi 5G that the Bug sends. This is an analog signal, which means if you have a pair of Fat Sharks or another pair of FPV goggles, you could also use those if you so choose. So, the different sort of video transmission. Now, I am recording on the drone directly. That's the best way to do it, whether you're flying Wi-Fi or 5 gigahertz, it doesn't really matter. You want to record on an SD card on the drone. Make sure you have a good quality one of those. So, to sum it up, yeah, the Hubsan camera is better. It's a little bit more stable. In fact, in our tests, it even lasts a little bit longer in the air as well. So, all things considered, they're both really good quads. We'd probably give the nod to the Hubsan H501S. Now, it's not perfect. It eats through batteries for the remote, which we had to use. We had to use AA's because the LiPo had a faulty connector. Now, one of the best things you could do is actually upgrade. They make a 501S Advanced where you get a better transmitter with better range. So we can kind of solve both of those problems. Now, if you're looking for a good quad under $200 or right around $200, either one of these will do. If you can find a sale, snatch it up because these are fantastic drones. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe and check us out on halfchrome.com. Thanks for watching.